Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of FPL Yathu, our Fantasy Premier League talk show, whereby we give you different advice, analysis, and different ways on how you can better your game in the Fantasy Premier League game. I'm here with me, your host Zoitin Nizande, and today our 17th episode. We're going to dive in on how you're going to prepare for Game Week 16, because we all know that in Game Week 16, we've been given 5 free transfers. Everyone got 5 free transfers. But if you didn't get five free transfers, it might have been maybe you got maybe one transfer or 2 transfers or 3 transfers, because the game only allows you to have 5 free transfers. You can't have any more transfers more than that, because that's how the game goes. So I'm going to discuss with you on how you can use your 5 free transfers. Despite that, we're going to look at the results, last week's results. We're also going to look at the upcoming fixtures for Fantasy Premier League. And yeah, it's going to really be a short episode, but then it's going to be a helpful episode too. And one thing, before this episode, I talked to FPL Max, and he also gave me some advice to tell you FPL viewers. So let us dive in the results that we had in Game Week 15. All right, Game Week 15 gave us so many new things in Fantasy Premier League and in Premier League. First of all, some big teams. Big teams dropped points. The title race has become more tighter because the league leaders dropped points too, and the race for the European place is also getting tight, because it seems from number 4 to number 12, the points are really not in the same category. So the first match was Aston Villa versus Arsenal 2-1. Arsenal lost this game. Bournemouth versus Chelsea and Bournemouth drew 0-0. Everton and Nottingham Forest, Everton won 3-0. Everton is really in good form, but then they lack consistency. Manchester City versus Sunderland. Manchester City beat Sunderland 3-0, which was surprising, but then that can tell you that Guardiola now is in good form. And then we have Newcastle United versus Burnley. Newcastle United won 2-1, Burnley lost. We had Spurs versus Brentford. Spurs won 2-0. And then we had Leeds versus Liverpool, which ended in 3-3, a game that I expected Liverpool to win, because they took the lead in the second half, a 2-0 lead. But then Leeds sometimes can be that nuisance, that team that doesn't want to let go. And then we had Brighton. We had Brighton versus West Ham United, which ended in 1-1. We had Fulham versus Crystal Palace, which ended in 1-1. And then we had Wolves versus Manchester United, which ended in 4-1. So those were the games, the results for the game week 15. So I'm looking at those results and some players who performed well. The first player is going to be Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes really performed well last week because he brought in points. I think he scored like 18 points. Yeah, so if you had Bruno Fernandes, if you captained him, if you played triple captain on him, it was the right idea, because Bruno Fernandes is actually in hot form right now. And knowing that some other African players are going, I think Bruno Fernandes can be a player to pick. And also looking at another nice performance last week was Foden. Foden has been giving us points every week. So I think Foden, we can also see Foden that he's in good form. Besides that, we can look at Kevin Dusbury. Kevin Dusbury is a cheap player that's also giving in points week in, week out. So these guys are just like some picks that I saw last week that I think we should look at these guys. We should think of getting these guys, because these are like top assets to have in your team. So I think we're just going to look at those 3 players that really performed last week for me. That is, But then I know there are many guys who performed last week because we had like Ryan Chekri, we had Bruno Grimaes who have been playing good. But then I'll get to those players. So now we all know that we've been given 5 transfers. We've been given these 5 transfers because from game week 17 to game week 22, we're going to have the African Cup of Nations being played. So we know that there are some players who have gone to represent their countries, and there are some players who are going to leave after game week 16, but the other players who have already left for the African countries. So Fantasy gave us 5 free transfers, more like a wild card on how you can fix your team if you had like African players. So looking at it, the African useful players that are going, we have Brian Mbeumo for Manchester United. He's going. He really provides points. I can't say week in week out, but then maybe every game week fortnight, he gives you points. We have Ndiaye. Ndiaye is also going. A big miss for Everton. We have Alex Iwobi. We have Chukwueze. Chukwueze was just on fire like this past 2 game weeks. He's really given those nice points, and it's sad that he's going. We have Bassi, a good defender for Fulham. He's also gone. We have Pep Matsa. Pep Matsa is also going for Crystal Palace. Semenyo likely isn't going. Semenyo is still here. We have Yakubu Minte still here. Traore for Sunderland is going. We have Talbi. Talbi is going. We really have a couple of players that are going for African Cup of Nations to represent their country. So those are just a few players that I've mentioned. But then I'm looking at teams who are going to lose most of their players. First of all, we have Sunderland. Sunderland is going to lose about 6, if not 7 players who are going to African Cup of Nations. So these are the teams that you can, look in the long run and pick a list of players that, okay, I think I should pick this list of players because they're going to be going against Sunderland. Because we all know that if a team is going to lose 7 players, that means that team's performance is going to go down. That's if they don't come up with a good plan. So another team is Fulham. Fulham is also going to lose, I think, about 5 players, if not 4 players. Those are a lot. We also have Manchester United. Manchester United is going to lose 3 players. Amad Diallo, Mbeumo, and Mazraoui. Important players. And Manchester United being a big team, it's a big loss for them. Fulham, I've already mentioned that they're going to lose players. Fulham. We have Brentford. We have Everton. We have Wolves. So we have West Ham. So these are the teams that are going to lose players. So which players can you pick for game week 16 with all those 5 transfers? I'm going to focus much on midfield, but then I'm also going to touch the attack and the defense side. On the midfield, we can all cash in on Phil Foden because we all know that Phil Foden's form is really good at the moment. But then we should all know that many people are picking him, so his price probably by now has risen. Another midfielder you can get is Bukayo Saka. Looking at his fixtures in the long run too, Bukayo Saka really has good fixtures. This game week he's going against this game week is going against Wolves. The next game week he's going to go against Everton, and game week 18 Arsenal are going to go against Brighton, and game week 19 you can see these are like good fixtures for Arsenal. Game week 19 they're going to go against Aston Villa, the team that beat them. So I think they're also going to want to get some revenge on Aston Villa for beating them. But then let's not look much on that. So you can get Saka. You can also get Eze. Eze is a good pick for game week 16. That's on the midfielders. You can also get Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes, he's that guy who gives you defensive contributions. He can give you an assist. He can give you goals. And props to him, man, for scoring that beautiful goal this past weekend. That was a beautiful corner. I mean, I don't know if he's going to score a beautiful goal again like that. But then that's a beautiful goal, and it's, I think, top 5 for goal of the seasons. So yeah. Um, Apart from Bruno Guimaraes, we can also look at getting Enzo Fernandez, even though he looks very tired. I mean, Chelsea's attackers look very tired, but then if you can get Enzo Fernandez, try getting Cole Palmer. I have a feeling that Cole Palmer is getting back in this rhythm, and we all know what he does against Everton. Last time he scored 4 goals against Everton at the bridge. So I mean, we can expect something different this time around. Nevertheless, we can also look at getting Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson has been in good form. He's returned in the last 3 game weeks, 3 out of 4 game weeks. He's given in nice returns. So I really think that Harry Wilson is one person you can get. Anthony Gordon isn't the guy we should look aside at. We also have another midfielder like Pedro Neto. I really feel like Pedro Neto has been in form, even though sometimes he misses. But then now we can think of getting Pedro Neto as maybe that guy on the bench that you can bring in the next game. Because looking also at his fixtures, Chelsea I think has like home fixtures in the next game week. So you can bank in on what Pedro Neto. Looking at other positions, going to the forwards, we can look at getting the first forward is Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez looks like a starter now because Muniz is out. Another forward you can look at getting is Mateus Cunha. Mateus Cunha is also going to be a starter and influential player now that Brian Mbeumo is going out. Igor Thiago too has some good fixtures coming against this team. They have Burnley. We know that Burnley has the lowest XG in the Premier League this season. So getting Thiago now, and then after Burnley they're playing against what? They're playing against Wolves. So it's really a good idea to get Thiago. For Liverpool, I wouldn't say you should get Liverpool players right now because okay, for Liverpool I think you should get Szoboszlai, but for the attackers, don't get any attackers at the moment because we're not really sure whether it's going to be Ekitike or Isak starting. So for Liverpool, I just think you should get Dominic Szoboszlai, but then the other guys leave them out. For Manchester City, you can also get apart from Phil Foden, who I mentioned earlier, you can get Ryan Cherki, you can get Erling Haaland. These guys are going to bring you points. For Tottenham Hotspur, Muhammad Kudus likely isn't going for what? Isn't going away for international duties because they didn't qualify for the AFCON. So Muhammad Kudus too is one player that you guys can look at getting. And one last forward is Oli Watkins. Oli Watkins too is a forward that you guys can look at having. So now looking at defenders, which defenders do you think we can get? Defenders that I think we can get Mark Gay. We can get Munoz right now because we know that Munoz is out for some time. Julian Timber would have been a nice pick, but then Julian Timber also got a knock, so I'm not sure we can get Julian Timber. But then we have Hikapo, who replaces Gabriel. That guy has been solid in defense. We can also look at getting Mark Cuella or Trevor Chalobah. Trevor Chalobah has also been good, and also let's not keep a blind eye on Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana has been giving in points, guys, but then I think people are sleeping on him. So Wesley Fofana too is one guy you can get, and I think he's going to score against Everton. I also have that feeling that Wesley Fofana is going to do that. We can also look at getting defenders like Wharton, like Matty Cash. Matty Cash has also been good in the past game weeks. Virgil van Dijk, I think we shouldn't look at Virgil van Dijk at the moment because I'm still having doubts with I'm still having doubts with Liverpool. Um, Van Dijk personally is good, but then they are hardly keeping clean sheets, so don't get Van Dijk. We have O'Reilly for Manchester City. You can look at getting this kid really in good form. Givardio too. Givardio, you can also look at getting Givardio because yeah, I'm looking at Tottenham Hotspur. They have good defenders, scoring defenders. They have Van de Ven, they have Romero, and they have Pedro Porro. These guys, look at getting one of these guys. They're going to give you those points. Not week in week out, but then they'll still, if they don't get yellow cards, they're still going to give you points because they're going to get 2 points plus another 2 points for defensive contributions. I'm going to goalkeepers. The first goalkeeper I can look at is Kelleher. Kelleher has really been in good form. So yeah, we can also go look at Roofs. Roofs makes those saves in a game. He can make like maybe 6 saves, 9 saves. So those are points on their own. We can also look at getting Robert Sanchez. He's won Player of the Month in the month of November. I mean, this is my goalkeeper. Last season, we were all talking trash about this guy. He makes stupid mistakes, but then this season he's proved people wrong, and I like his mentality now. Maybe it's because last time Cole Palmer touched his head, so I'm just saying. But then, yeah, Robert Sanchez is really a good pick for this coming. Is a really good pick for this coming game week. But then for a long term, I will not choose him. But then I'm just telling you guys on how you can prepare for game week 16 and 18. Um, Besides that, we have Donnarumma. Donnarumma is going to be playing against West Ham United in game week 17, and then in game week 16, Donnarumma is going to be playing against Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace won't score much in game week 16 because Mateta is a doubt, but I'm just waiting until Saturday if I should bring Mateta or not. I only made one transfer, which was I brought out Minte, and I brought in some players, but then who's that? I brought out Minte. I brought out Minte and brought in a certain midfielder. If not, I brought out Semenyo. But then yeah, I made that change. So yeah, that's what I think you should do to prepare for. You should do to prepare for game week what? For game week 17, 16, and 18 with those 5 free transfers. And yeah, so I got some advice from FPL Max, FPL Maximo. Before I tell you the advice, this guy was 40th in the league, and he came on he's the first guest I had on this episode. What he said is, Zoe, this is not a what? It's not a race like who gets first to the first place now. It's taking it slow, day by day, game week by game week. You have to be a snail. And guess what? This guy is now second place with I think 40 points behind me. But that 40 points comes with him having a triple captain and a bench post. I mean, this guy really set the tone for FPL. If you didn't know, because this guy this is what he always does. He starts slow and then ends up strong. And lastly, what he said was, it's easy to get to the top, but then it's easy to maintain being at the top. And it's really hard, guys. It's really hard. I've been top for like I think 4 game weeks now, but then it's not easy to be on top because you're always thinking of what should I do next. How should I maintain? How can I raise the gap? Things like that. So it's really not that easy. So his advice was for you guys not to use all your transfers for game week 5. Make sure not to use all your transfers. Be patient. You guys have to be patient when making decisions. don't rush in making decisions, and always look at the long run. Okay, don't just look at the next game, but then look at the long run. So that's what that's the advice he had for you guys, and the rest of like is going to see you in game week 16. His captain choices were either Saka or Haaland. And my captain choices for this week, um, I'm putting Cole Palmer, I'm putting Erling Haaland, and I'm putting Bukayo Saka. These are my three captain choices this week. So that's what we had for you from FPL Max. Looking at the Matrix 16 fixtures, the first fixture is Chelsea versus Everton. I feel like Chelsea is going to win this match, despite Everton being in good form and Chelsea is failing to score. I feel like Chelsea, this is usually their fixture whereby they get points in with their main man Cole Palmer being back. He didn't play in the midweek game. They kept him for the weekend game. I think he's going to come out firing hot. We have Liverpool versus Brighton. I feel like this game is going to be a win for Liverpool. If not, it might be a draw. We have Burnley versus Fulham. I feel like this game is going to be a tricky game, but then I feel like Fulham have an edge of Burnley because Burnley has a shaky defense. And then we have Arsenal versus Wolves. This is a straight win for Arsenal. God forbid Wolves shouldn't win their first game of the season against Arsenal. It's going to be embarrassing. But then I feel like this is going to be a straight win for Arsenal. I feel like they can win this game maybe 5-0, 4-0. And then on Sunday, we have Crystal Palace versus Manchester City at 4 o'clock. Crystal Palace is at home. I feel like Manchester City is going to win this game. It's a must win. Coming back with a win against Real Madrid must be a motivating factor. And also when Crystal Palace plays during midweek, they're usually tired. So I feel like Manchester City is going to win this game. We have Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham Hotspur. This game is going to be a 50-50 game. It might either end in a draw or Spurs win. Yeah. But I'll give it both teams BTS. And then we have Sunderland versus Newcastle United. This game, I feel like Newcastle is going to win. And this game is going to be like an experiment of what we are going to experience just now with players leaving for African Cup of Nations. We know Sunderland has 7 players going out for African Cup of Nations. So I told you that let's try lining up a team of players that are going to be going against Sunderland. So this is going to be like an experiment. If this experiment works out and we see that Sunderland crumbles at home versus Newcastle, because we all know that Sunderland has a nice record at home, this is the experiment we're going to see. Oh God, I love this game. And then we have West Ham United against Aston Villa. I think this is going to end in a draw or a win for Aston Villa. And then we have Brentford versus Leeds. I'm going to give this game to Brentford winning. And then we have Manchester United versus Bournemouth. This is a tricky match, but then I still give it to Manchester United to win because they're in good form right now. But we should know that teams can score goals or it can end in a 0-0 because Bournemouth, guys, knows how to defend. So that's all I had for you at Fantasy Premier League, our FPL talk show. That's all we had for you this game week. I wish you well in the game week 16 and see you in our I think 18th episode in game week during game week 17, whereby we'll give you updates of how it's going on in the FPL league and all that. And I think by that time we'll be going towards Christmas. And we have a challenge in our group, but then no one has yet hit the challenge. The challenge is if you can get 100 points without having Erling Haaland. So I'm yet to see who's going to win that challenge, or maybe no one's going to win that December challenge. So see you later. You're with me, your boy Zweliti Nizande. One time.